Gagne.
Some people think turning his back on his country and aligning with Iraq was the craziest thing Sergeant Slaughter ever did. Wrong. That distinction goes to putting his name on Sergeant Slaughter's Map Wars, released for the Commodore 64 in 1989. Warning, this game is legit insane. The cover of the game looks innocent enough, until you realize that the guy in the background is holding a tomahawk, an admittedly effective counter to the abdominal stretch. Anyway, we had some trouble getting video for the game, so the footage here is basically screen caps. Trust me, you're not missing much. Also, even though this is a one-player game, you have to use the player 2 keyboard controls because, well, I don't know. Anyway, start the game and you get to pick a manager? Yes. Choose between Elizabeth stand-in Dolores, the unpleasant Fast Ed, former wrestler Big John, Arab stereotype Abdul Makask, and outright criminal Lucky. As you probably guessed, the game takes a dim view of the wrestling world. Anyway, each manager has different attributes that we'll get to in a sec. So at this point, you pick a wrestler? Well, not exactly. You head to the auction house and bid on one. Yeah. You're given 15 grand to start, and you have to bid on whatever wrestler they toss out. If you don't win the auction, the bidding for that wrestler will just start all over again. However, if you win that wrestler on the second or third try, they'll have less energy than they would have if you had won him the first time around. So if you want to conserve some money, you can stop bidding if the price gets too high, but your wrestler will have less energy in his energy bar. Confused yet? And yes, even though there are several characters in the game, you don't get to choose who you play as. In fact, the manual goes into great detail about every manager, but doesn't even mention any of the wrestlers. Anyway, once you secure a grappler, it's time to wrestle, right? Well, not quite. It costs money to compete in matches, so you have to keep a bankroll. One way to do this is by betting on your wrestler to win the match. Yes, betting. Even better, if another wrestler is ranked higher than you can bribe their manager so they'll take a dive and you'll climb the ranks. See what I said about a dim view of wrestling? Anyway, according to the manual, some managers are more aggressive in bidding and others are more willing to make deals, but I never noticed much of a difference. By the way, paying $1,000 to compete in an indie match? Hell of a scam. You thought ticket seller matches were bad. Anyway, the point of the game is to advance from the bullpit, which I guess equates to the indies, to the medium stage of Wrestle World, I suppose the Impact Zone, and finally the big stages of the Coliseum, or the WWE. I love the bullpit. The wrestling shows are apparently being held in a barn or the world's largest log cabin. The sparsely attended crowd features someone literally asleep and some couple making out. Yeah, like girls go to indie shows. So yeah, actual wrestling time. And the characters in the game are your basic wrestling stereotypes. An army guy named Tank, a guy in an executioner mask called Crusher, and a sumo named IROC? Anyway, the C64 only had a joystick and one button, so gameplay was a little challenging. You basically punch an elbow until a wrestler is stunned, in which case you can use slams and pile drivers. And that's the theory anyway. I try my best to attack, but my opponent's always just out of reach, and then beats my ass or throws me out of the ring till I get counted out. Like so many aspiring wrestlers, I guess I'm doomed to never make it out of the indies.
Hurt too much to look at now. Reminders of our past. Tell me a lie that you won't go. Look at my eyes, me, even though after you lie, you have to walk away. No more yesterday. Maybe if you just tell me a lie, maybe then we'll never say
So what does Sergeant Slaughter have to do with any of this? Well, he provides updates after every card, and I guess he's a special guest referee for every match, since his picture pops up when you go for a pinfall. I felt bad for the kids who bought the game thinking they would, actually get to play as the Sarge. Anyway, if you run out of money, the game just doesn't give you a game over screen. Nope, you're instantly rendered homeless and reduced to digging through garbage to get your supper. Man, this game makes a wrestler look like ready to rumble. How do you grade a game like this? It tries to be both a simulator and wrestling game and fails at both. But it approaches the genre in such a crazy way I can't totally bag on it. It's worth experiencing at least once, although probably no more than that. Well, until next time, thanks for watching, and remember, a winner is you.